have a lady on the phone. She's in my ear. I have a colleague right next to me listening to my call, and she's there as a manager listening everything that I was saying. That lady's having an issue with a printer, and she has a business, and she's trying to run her business, and then her printer for some reason is not working, and she has a line of clients, and my job is to fix that issue with her live. I'm doing that. I run her through the troubleshooting process, through the protocol, and we're actually succeeding. It's going good. The call is going amazing. Within a few minutes, I'm able to fix the printer, and she's back online. She's really happy. She's thanking me. And my colleague right next to me, she says, "Good job, great job." As she's saying that, somebody touched my shoulder on the left side. It's one of the managers, and he says to me, "Come, I need to talk to you." I'm like, okay, sure. Then the lady next to me, or the girl next to me actually, the colleague, she goes, "No, but we're not finished. We did about 3 calls now. We're gonna take another maybe two more." He goes, "No, go back to your seat." And then he goes to me, "Grab all your things, please." I'm like, okay, this is weird. Yeah, grab your stuff. Leave the laptop there. Now, mind that they have given me that laptop. That was my laptop as a worker, and I used to bring it home and use it at home and also at work. The fact that he told me, "Do not take the laptop, just grab your things," he said. In my head, this does not sound good at all. Something is about to happen. Hey, this is Hustle and Money, and I'm telling you on this video the story when I got fired. You're fired. And here are the circumstances of what happened. So as I said on my introduction, I need to start gathering all my stuff from my desk, which I do. And then I start walking. The guy start walking, and then he goes, "Come over here." And then we pass a corridor, and then we end up in a big conference room. And then he sits down, and he goes, "Yeah, I need to talk to you." I'm like, "Okay, is everything okay?" He goes, "I can't talk to you right now. We need to wait for somebody else." I'm like, "Somebody else? Okay." All of a sudden, a lady opens the door of the conference room. This lady comes in. It's the lady from the HR. I didn't know at that moment, but then she introduces herself. "Hey, my name is, I'm from the HR department." Okay. I'm like, surprised. Okay, what's happening? What's going on? "Well, I'd like to let you, well, you gonna say it or am I gonna say it?" They start discussing among them to see who's gonna give me the great news. All of a sudden, I believe it's the guy next to me who was my manager, and he goes, "We decided to let you go, and this is effective as of today." I'm like extremely surprised. I'm like, what? But what's going on? What happened? And the reason why I was being very surprised, not of the fact that I was getting fired, but more by the fact that I knew out of my group that came in, which we did the training with, none of them had actually taken a call. They were still on training. They were still receiving training. They were still in front of their laptop, in front of their computer, just studying and going through the system and going through the whole things. And they were not saying anything bad about them. But for me, I was actually already online. I already have taken several, one week actually prior, I had taken a bunch of calls with this lady and sometimes some other people, other colleagues that were next to me listening, because I wasn't allowed to take calls on my own. And I actually told the person, "Hey, listen, can I take calls? And they were, no, you're not allowed. You need to have, if you're ever gonna take calls, you're allowed to take calls, but you need to have somebody next to you, an employee that is actually well trained and it's been here a while. So several people, they used to let me be next to them, hearing their conversation. And also sometimes they, okay, you want to take one? And then they used to talk, okay, go take this call, and if you have issues, just let me know. Very nice people. But not the whole department was like that. And this is what corporate America is really, really difficult. And I find very, very, very sad the fact that a bunch of people are still on it, because it's a very cruel world. And I know, I've met it, I've been there, done that. Now, to understand this story, you need to have a little bit of context. I was working on another company, which I was there for almost a year, and everything was going okay, but the pay wasn't great. The atmosphere was really bad. People, you used to meet people on the corridor or in the entrance, everywhere. Nobody was saying hi to you. And when you used to say hi, I used to say, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Just like they used to make a move like this. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, like really, really not friendly at all. And I thought it was just me, but then I started looking around. Nobody was talking to nobody. It was like zombies, all of them. People used to go to the bathroom, used to meet them face to face. They used to actually put their face down, not even looking at you. They all look mad, they all look sad. It was terrible atmosphere. So I wanted to get out of there, even though, you know, I was very solitary. I was coming to my desk, doing my job, and then leave. I didn't stay 1 minute more. That was that company. So I started applying to different other companies, and this is where I found this other company, and they were offering actually higher salary, and they were offering better benefits and perks, and apparently they were gonna pay me my gym subscription membership, and they were gonna pay me this and that, and food. They had some food that was free, not all the time, but most of the time. Also, they had free coffee. They had a bigger cafeteria. It looked awesome. So when they made me the offer, I was extremely excited. I was really, really happy. And I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, because if not, the video is gonna be too long. I'm gonna take you back to what exactly happened. So after the interview process, which was very long, I had to meet with at least 3 managers, and also the CEO and many people. I have to meet at least 4 or 5 people. Anyways, I passed the whole process. They hired me. They told me, they knew that I was in this other company. They told me, give them a 15 days notice and then you can come. And that's what I did. I gave my 15 days notice to the other company, and then I left. And I came to this company. Now the new company, they gave me training. What I found really strange is the people that were going through the training was actually people that half of them were actually people from the company itself. So the way it worked was half, or more than half, I would say, maybe 80% of the people that were following the training with me were actually part of the company. They were not people coming from outside. We were maybe 2 or 3 out of maybe 20 in the training room, and only 3 were from outsiders, which I found really strange. It was the first time that I encountered that. When we started the introduction, we started introducing ourselves. They were saying, I've been here 10 years, I've been here 15 years, I've been here 7 years, I've been here 2 years, I've been here different amounts of years. And I was, this is strange. And like, nobody ever said anything to me, not even on the interview process or anything like that. So I was like, this is strange. But what I understood is, like, the company was doing refreshers, and at the same time, when people were moving from one department to another, Well, they used to make them go through that training, which was the training of the product, the training of the systems, and training of everything, which I found a little strange. Well, whatever, I said, let's move on, because I was excited. I was in a new environment, a new company. The atmosphere seemed to be different than in the other company that I was saying. They were not zombies. Actually, people were interacting, everybody was talking. And when I actually went through the interview process, one of the things that they were telling me a lot is try to be as friendly as you can with people, and try to introduce yourself as much as you can, so you can get with the culture of the company and our pillars and all that. So I was like, okay, let's play along. And one event that actually happened was that the Christmas party was going to be in a few weeks. So I said to myself, that could be a good opportunity to maybe blend in and start probably making new friends. And in this company it's gonna be different, because like I said, the culture seemed to be different. That's what I put in my head as a goal. Now, this is when everything shifts. We were maybe about ending the training, maybe a few days before the training. Before the training ends, they said, okay, so now this is the process. You're gonna go through an exam, and the second thing that you're gonna do, it's also you're gonna go through a presentation. You'll have to do a presentation in front of everybody, in front of your group. You're gonna pick a subject, a topic regarding one of our tools, and you're gonna explain it, and you're gonna do an explanation and a presentation. So everybody was excited, and then we're gonna pick winners 1, 2, and 3. There's not gonna be like gifts and stuff, but you'll be recognized among your peers. So that was the end of the training. So I started working on my presentation. Now, taking consideration that I was applying for a technical support. I was not applying. I was actually doing the training to become a technical support person. And this is exactly what I did. I took one of the tools that I was going to introduce to my group, and I used my technical skills. I had some technical skills that I knew. I knew about editing. I knew a little bit about using the tools, using a little bit of coding. At that time I knew basic coding. I still did not go through because eventually I did 2 years of in a college, in a community college. I did 2 years of coding and programming and all that, but that was prior to that. And so I took my skills and I said, I'm gonna do this presentation. I'm going to create, actually we needed to create a website which they were supplying, and in that website you were going to explain their software and their tools. Now they gave you a basic page. So I went in and I since I knew a little bit, I went into the code, the HTML code, and I started actually implementing my skills, put a video on my banner instead of a picture, and I did a little bit of graphics and stuff. My project was coming good. Now, when I went to save that project, something weird. Everything it went ballistic. Something was wrong with their software, that when you used to save, things used to move around, and whatever you did, the system was not taking that in consideration, and it was moving your pictures, your videos, your stuff, whatever you put into that page. It was weird. I was like, this is strange. Now, since I knew how to do this, it took me a couple of hours to redo it again, because I already had the frame, the structure, and I redid it. I went to save. again, the thing just went messed up. There was a guy, I was actually doing that in the environment where everybody was working. They were actually already working, like team members, and they were there for a few years. So I asked one of the guys, I said, look, can you help me with this? I know you're working, I don't want to bother you, but I'm working on this project. I need to make the presentation, and this is the second time that I actually do it, and I would try to save it. And then he comes and he sees and everything, says, yeah, this seems like to be a bug. Then he gave me a workaround. He told me, okay, do this, do that. He knew very well their product. So he says, so do that, do this, do that, save it, and it should be okay. All right, so I followed his instructions. I did it. It worked. My project was ready. I was ready for the presentation. I was only waiting for the exam, the final exam. Everything was good. Comes the day of the presentation, and everybody was passing, and they say, okay, you have any volunteers and all that. I was a little shy, so I didn't volunteer right away. I said, let me go like in the middle. But then as the first one came in and started giving his presentation, then more people were like eager to do theirs. Yeah, me, I want to be next. Okay, me, I want to be next. So without knowing, people were passing in front of me, and I was actually being one of the last to pass. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't want to pass last. I wanted to be like in the middle of my group. And I think out of the 20, I end up being like number 17 or number 18, not the last, but almost the last. So I go and I do, and their presentation was okay, depending on their personality. Some were funny, some had funny things to do and to say, and everything was going according to plan. But nobody had like a lot of technical skills. From what I watched at their presentation, it was really basic. So then I started my presentation. I actually even prepared a little joke before I started and everything. There was no ChatGPT at that time when this happened. So I actually went and searched for a small joke to introduce, to break the ice. And I started actually doing my presentation. I show my technical skills, my video and everything, the banners, this, that. I explain everything as I wanted to explain it. And actually I was looking at their reaction, their face, and I look at them, and there were some of them looked surprised. Some of them looked surprised in a good way, and others looked surprised in a bad way. Some, I look at a few of them, they looked like really mad. They were not looking like very happy about my presentation, because especially there was one guy, he wanted absolutely to win. He was very competitive, young guy, very competitive. And I look at his face, it was like his face was really mad. It looked like a very, very mad guy. And anyways, I ended up my presentation. Everybody clapped and everything, and the teacher or whoever was giving the training said, wow, nice presentation, wow, I can see you're very technical. And then people started talking, the ones that didn't agree, I mean, they were not in my side. They were like, yeah, but that's not fair, he's a technical guy. I come from the sales department and I've been doing sales, like I don't know anything about technical. This guy, you can obviously see he's technical. You can obviously see he knows a lot about technical stuff. He put videos and stuff and banners and things. There was a girl that was not happy either. And that guy, he said, it's weird because while I was doing my project, I think I was hacked. Somebody hacked me, because every time I used to come and I used to try to save my project, they used to become all messed up, and I had to redo it. And this is why my project was not good at all, because somebody was hacking. I'm pretty sure somebody was hacking me. And he's looking at me like, I'm like, I actually had the same experience as you. I had the same issue as you. He's like, no, somebody hacked me. I'm sure 100% somebody hacked me. So this guy, later I found out that he thought that I screwed his project, that I hacked him, and obviously the only guy that was technical, because I was the only one being hired for the technical support. that team, in that 20 people that were doing the training, all the others, some were going to go back to their usual positions because it was just a refresher. Others that are changing from sales, that were going to product analysts and all that, and different positions. So he was convinced in his mind, and I felt that he didn't tell me, but he said he was convinced somebody hacked him. I'm like, but I had the same experience. There's something wrong in the software. But I even told one of the team leaders, and I told him, explaining the situation, and he told me that it was normal, that sometimes the system used to bug and so on. So I thought they were aware of the situation, so I never pay attention. But that guy was really pissed. Then comes the Christmas party that I was talking about earlier. And at the Christmas party, I tried to be very friendly. I went and introduced myself, whoever, randomly, to people. Hey, what's up? How's it going, man? I'm new here. Where do you work? What department? And this and that. I was really friendly with all people and everything. Find out later on that was also another mistake. Sometimes you be too friendly, you talk too much. That's what's gonna come and spit you back in your face. This guy, I met him at the bar. I went to grab a beer, and the guy was there, and this guy, and he said, hey, I said to him, it was over. I did the exam, I passed over 80%. You need 80 in order to pass. And when I asked the question, what happened if you don't get 80%? He said, don't worry, nothing's gonna happen. And some were joking, oh, they're gonna fire you, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. But I thought they were kind of joking. So at the end, I got over 80% on my exam. Everything went okay. Now at the bar, back at the bar, this guy is there, the one that thinks that I hack him. And I say, hey, how's it going, man? How's everything? He look at me, makes me a big face, doesn't even respond, and he goes like this, and he leaves. I'm like, what the hell? This guy has a grudge. I don't know what his problem is. It was a party, so I didn't want to confront him or anything. I'm like, let it go. Anyways, you're new here and everything. And he was talking to the lady that I said that was also on my training, and that lady also was against me for some reason, from some stupid reason that I didn't know. She didn't like me. So they were like in a cahoot. I saw them talking. I didn't pay attention. The party ended, everything went down. Then I got back to work, and I see the atmosphere. I see that guy, that girl, and then 2 or 3, and they're talking among each other. I walk past them, and they all look at me, and they're like this guy, whatever. I don't know what they were talking, but I knew they were talking about me. I didn't pay attention. So that was my first encounter and first problem that I had, the first issue. So, and they were friendly with my manager as well. So I believe they went and talked within each other with my manager. Later on, I actually saw them in a room talking. So that was the first thing. Then the second thing, in our training, there was one guy from the HR. Now this guy, he was very nice, friendly, and everything. At one point when I was doing one of the training, it was really hard though. They had a software and a product, and they had very difficult questions in order to see if you understood their software properly and all that. And I came up of that training, and I was exhausted. I remember I went to the bathroom, and I met this guy, the HR guy, in the bathroom. He's there washing his hands. He goes to me, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And I was a little down. That was another mistake that I did. And I went to him, so man, it was a rough day today. I said to him like this. He goes, really? Yeah, man. It was, you learn one software, and then the other one, and then this and that. And I'm like, I'm trying, but I was a little too open. And I look at his eyes, especially that on the training, one of the modules said, the culture of the company, you should never talk negative. You should always be positive, and it should always be, even if you feel bad. But I totally forgot. That day I forgot. I was a little down, and I was just a human being, I said to the guy that. He looked at me like that. I saw on his eyes, and then I'm like, oh my God, I made a mistake. What did I even trust this guy? I know he was cool and friendly, but he's from HR. I let it go. Mine, later on, I saw him also in the office with my manager. Then one of the guys that was in the managing team, and he was actually listening to my calls when he was actually training me with the calls, and I saw him also one time get in cahoot with that guy that I said that thought that I hacked him. I'm like, oh my god, this is starting to become very weird, really weird. And I said, I went back home after all those interactions, and I said to my wife, you know what, it's not looking good. I don't know, I have a feeling, I don't know. And I started explaining her what happened, and she's like, you're paranoid, you're actually becoming like that guy that thinks that somebody hacked him. You actually are doing the same. You think now that they are they're against you. I'm like, I don't know, my read sense is telling me that something's fishy here. Something doesn't feel right. My manager, he started to distance himself from me. I don't know, I was seeing some patterns that were telling me, be careful. And like I said, this is the timeline. One day I was walking into one of those conference room, and I see that group, the little group that hated me, in one room with my manager. Then the next day I saw the HR guy in the room with my manager. I'm like, maybe they're having a meeting, I don't know, just like that, but it's weird. And then the story goes there where I'm in the meeting, I'm in the conference room with the HR, the lady, as my introduction, and my manager, and he's telling me, you fired, we're letting you go. And then I try to ask questions. I said, can you give me I understand the first question that actually, I was in shock. I was completely in shock, because I was in shock, not because they fired me. I was in shock the fact that she told me, you are not longer an employee as of now. Today is your last day. And that was shocking to me, because I said to them, okay, hold on. My first question is, I'm fired from today? She was, yeah, as of now. Okay, that's my first shock. Now, the second thing that I was shocked was when I asked the reason, what's the reason why you fire me? They go, there is not a real reason. This is the HR lady saying, you are under 3 months, and according to the law, this is what they gave me as reason. According to the law, we are not obligated to give you any reason if you are not past the 3 months. And since you're gonna be 3 months in X number of weeks, we rather not get there, and we rather just let you go. But then my manager took over and he said, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna let you know, it's for the best. We are firing you, it's for the best. It's for the best for you. I'm like, it's for the best? I said, you know what? Is this like a done deal here? Are we here to discuss or to argue a little bit, to talk about it, or it's a done deal? And the lady says, it's a done deal. You can still talk if you want, but it's a done deal. I was like, well, you know what, I'm gonna talk, because it's pointless for me to talk, but I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna let you know my point of view. First of all, what I'm mad about it is that the fact that I'm over from today, and are you gonna pay me my 2 weeks notice? They say, no, we're not paying any 2 weeks notice. But when you make me leave the other company, you ask me to give them a 2 weeks notice. Are you guys serious? This is the first thing. The second, you guys know the period where, past Christmas and all that. I mean, I have a family, I have kids. You can't just drop me like that. Give me at least 2 weeks so I can go and find something. You leave me in the air like that? Is that normal? That makes sense to you? Is that human? Are you guys robots? What are you? I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, we're so sorry. No, don't give me the sorry thing. That makes no sense. You gave me no 2 weeks notice. You're giving me no reason. You're just saying it's for the best. Actually, then they said, well, actually, actually the real reason you're not a fit for this company. You make me go through like at least 5 interviews. I interview with HR over the phone. They make me pass a test, like a written test. They make me do a technical test. Then they make me do an interview with the manager. Then they make me do an interview with a team leader, because they have a manager and then they have a team leader that takes care of a little group, and the manager takes care of a bigger group. Then they make me do even after all that process, I had to meet with the VP. There's a bigger guy. In this case, it was a woman, a bigger woman, that she was like, I don't know, man. I don't want to say any bad names, but she was like a dictator style. Not smiling, not a single smile. Not you try to crack a joke with her and she's looking at you like this. She asks you a question, and people usually they nod, and while you're responding they nod. No, she's like this, eyes, totally eyes. I'm like, oh. But I passed the interview with her. At the end, she gave her okay. And then finally, the final interview, you had to go, and with a little group, like maybe 5-6 people, you go and sit down with the CEO, and the CEO would ask random, not an interview, but random questions to see whatever questions it was, like, like you used to be in a room, and you used to call and make an interview. So in that meeting with the CEO, he asked random questions and stuff. Nothing really to put you in the spot. It was more like a conversation. Anyways, I passed through all those hurdles and all their steps that they had. So I never thought that they were just gonna drop me like that fast. In any case, I said to them, I went through all that, and you don't give me a 2 weeks notice. You just drop me like this. You don't give me a valid, real reason. You made all those interviews to figure out if my knowledge was okay, if I was a fit. The lady, even the manager, right now, not even 2 minutes ago, said, good job. You were there where I was fixing the issue for the lady with a printer in her store that has a lineup of clients, and I'm able to fix it remotely. I'm not in her store, like it's easy, unplug and do this and do that. I have to guide her through the process and the troubleshooting, and I'm able to go through, and she understood what I was saying, and she was able to fix her. I was able to fix her issues, and many other calls that I did among the others. Because anything else, really, like this? Anything else you have to say? We were here just to listen. I'm like, man, listen, I don't need a therapy. I don't need a psychiatric here, but I'm really upset. And I took my stuff. I said, you know what, it's pointless that I continue. I took my stuff and I left. And I can tell you that was one of the worst feelings that I ever felt, because you feel low, you feel humiliated, you feel not worth it, you feel worthless, you feel bad, you feel all kind of emotions. I felt rage, I felt hate, I felt all the bad, all the dark that you can feel, you feel at that moment. I'm like, I even had darker thoughts. I'm not gonna go through that now. I'm not gonna tell you, but that's how bad this was. I had really dark things. It was a dark moment. I had to take the subway actually for like an hour to get there, and then I had to take another hour to come back, because it was actually downtown, and I didn't want to take my car because of the parking issues and stuff like that. So I had 1 hour on the subway to reflect and to think, and I was, man, this feeling is not going away. I thought I was gonna feel different real quick after that, but hell no. And then I had to tell my story again to my wife and explain her. I'm like, oh my god, I feel like crap right now, I feel really like crap. I have to tell her that, and then that's gonna give a lot of pressure to her, and it's gonna be a lot of stress in our house now. Oh my god. And like, they cut you like that? No. And so you're not getting another check? No, I'm not getting another check. Oh my god. So then the family stress and all. So I don't wish that to anybody, but I'm giving you this story so understand how the corporate America works, how it is. People, until this does not happen to you, you're not gonna know what it is. You feel like you're on top of the world, you're receiving your paycheck, you're going to your 9 to 5 and all that. I'm telling you, don't trust too much corporate America, because this can happen to you. Can have a layoff like that, or they can fire you for no reason or for a reason. I don't know. It didn't happen a lot in my career, in my life. This was maybe the third time that happened, but the other times I deserved to be fired. In the other occasions, yes, I did. I was younger, very young, 20 years old and stuff like that. I did stupid things. I missed a lot. The occasion that I'm talking about, that this video is about, no, I was, I was an adult. I was serious. I was on time. I was doing my things. I was doing everything properly. So it's just how it went. So I hope you liked this story. If you did, hey, you know what to do. Support my channel. This is Hustle Money. Till next time, stay blessed. Go ahead and watch my next video.